Good afternoon. I'm Senior Master Sergeant Bina, the 548 Operations Support Squadron Superintendent, and we are here with some of the team that is a part of our WARCRY sessions. And this is our inaugural podcast. We wanted to introduce to you what our WARCRY is, and I want to let you know why I asked for a team to put together some mentoring sessions. And basically, I feel that everybody needs to have some sort of mentorship, whether it's an airman, a senior NCO, or CGOs. And what better way to do it than have a team to come together with different ideas. And I asked some of the senior NCOs in our squadron why or who would want to do it. And I have a team, so it's pretty awesome. A couple of the team members are here with us today. First one we'll have Sergeant Pennington. How about you introduce yourself? Tell me why you wanted to be a part of it and what part of the team and why or what some of your goals are.
I am Tech Sergeant Pennington, part of the 548th Operations Support Squadron as well. One of the main reasons I wanted to be a part of this great team that Senior Bina has had the opportunity to set up is an opportunity to give back to the airmen and the NCOs within our squadron. One of the main reasons is coming from a different career field and seeing the amount of mentorship opportunities we do have compared to the intel side of the house from my career field so far. It just doesn't seem like it was there. We have a lot of great analysts within our unit. However, that professional development is something that we can definitely increase. One of the goals for the WARCRY is just make our people better at the end of the day. That's what we're here for, and that's our job as NCOs. So I'll kick it over to Tech Sergeant Delvaux.
Hey, everyone. Why I wanted to be in the WARCRY team is because I've had a lot of good NCOs, senior NCOs, and airmen influence my career, and I just want to give back. If it weren't for the mentorship that I received when I was coming up for an airman, I wouldn't be where I was today. I just want to pass that along. My goals for our mentoring sessions is for everyone to learn something and for all of us to get together and to share our perspectives on issues so that we're better airmen, like big A airmen.
Awesome. I love it. Paying it forward.
We also have two members who aren't here, like as you mentioned before, Senior Bina, Sergeant Mendez and Sergeant Monk. Both are very passionate about what they do, and they all just want to help airmen.
Awesome. So if I want something to be discussed, I can go to the four of you, and you will put together something and for us, for our airmen.
Absolutely. The aim isn't for us to come up necessarily with the topics. We need input from everybody because we can tell you what we think you want to know, but there needs to be buy-in from the airmen as well and the NCOs throughout the squadron if this thing is going to be successful moving forward.
And one of the great things about our mentoring sessions is we haven't done a single PowerPoint so far. Amen. Everything that we do has been a panel discussion, or we've had guest speakers come in, and we don't learn about boring things. We learn about fun things that everyone's interested in.
So the first PowerPoint one might be with the EPR's decorations.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome, right?
Okay, maybe I'll just
do whiteboard. The goal is not to be with that one.
Okay.
We like to keep a sort of roundtable discussion and just
love it.
That by PowerPoint, we go through it with every training we have, and people don't like it. So we try to keep all of our sessions where it's like a roundtable discussion where everybody can have that input. So that's the hopes, to keep this thing going that way.
Awesome. And then we can do this anywhere, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Like we just had one in the group conference room. You guys will hear about that soon. And it was just like a really intimate conversation where we could just get together. We just talked. There was no agenda. It's just airmen helping airmen grow.
Awesome. Okay, so Sergeant Pennington, what are some of the upcoming topics that you guys will be talking about?
So some of the
I guess I should ask
some of the upcoming topics that we have next month, especially with EPR season. We're in the midst of EPR season right now, and we also have annual and quarterly awards coming up for the fourth quarter. So one of the sessions that have been brought to our attention is a bullet writing seminar. We're going to bring our good old Senior Master Sergeant Bina in, and she's going to give us tips and trades of what makes her life easier at the end of the day. Our main point of this is to make it to where all of us are on the same page when we're writing packages, and it's making your life easier at the end of the day. And it also is a good opportunity for the airmen as well, just to learn as far as which we're looking for and what you're looking for, because everybody's got different opinions when it comes to bullet writing. But at the end of the day, we work for you, and it's going to be your input with what we have. So.
It makes me feel good that you're trying to help me out. But I love that. I mean, I've been taking notes as I've been. I write a lot for the supervisors so they can understand where my thought process is going to. So I hope to be able to give that in such a manner. Yes, it will help me out, but it's going to help you when you become a superintendent or when those airmen are in my position.
I think it's important because not to spoil the EPR session, but it's important to learn how to communicate your thoughts. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do here in WARCRY, our mentoring sessions, is to learn how to be a better airman. I remember when I sat down with my supervisor and we were looking at my EPR, I was just like, oh, okay, it clicked. Now I get it. And so if we can just bring that light bulb moment to the airmen a lot sooner, their careers are going to benefit so much more from that.
Awesome. So what else you got coming up?
2 of the other sessions we got coming up, we want to do a Chiefs panel, but not necessarily a Chiefs panel within our group or our squadron. We're going to bring some outside agency chiefs just to get their perspective on. We have Chief Master Sergeant King, who sits over in the mission support group, who will be a great entity to talk about like board procedures and what they look for on board, somebody that sat on a board. But it also gives them a different perspective as far as what those sort of career fields are as well. Because we do have people that intel may not be their itch and they just need to go possibly do something else. So it might give them more insight on the different career fields that are provided throughout the Air Force. And the next one we have as well is a TDY/DTS training. It's just a good input, good insight of how to actually do TTS orders. So those are our next 3 sessions that we're working on.
Awesome. So Sergeant Delvaux, what have you guys already discussed? What are some of the previous topics?
So we kicked off our WARCRY sessions with a skill bridge briefing. And we're going to have Miss Woods come back and do a podcast about that because skill bridge is the latest and greatest hot topic. We had a panel discussion with a couple of members in the OSS about different opportunities you can do with your career. Like, do you want to retrain? Do you want to try to do honor guard? Maybe you have some questions about Palace Chase. We had a different variety of people show up and we just had members ask them questions about different paths they can take in their career. We had Chief Watson come and he shared his story. It's a very powerful, impactful story, and it teaches you that every airman has a story, and sometimes we just need to take a second out of our day and consider everyone's stories, perspectives, and backgrounds. And then we also had another ISRG member come in and kind of do like a resiliency part 2. He had some adversity come up in his career, and he just kind of shared with us how he made it through that adversity.
Awesome. So how are we going to, I guess, share this, right? So podcasts, easy answer, but what's your plan with the podcast, Sergeant Pennington? What's the goals here?
So our plan, after sort of talking down with Lieutenant Colonel Schiff and seeing what some of the options that we may have to produce this and get this out there, was the creation of a Facebook page. We just stood it up this week. If you go to Facebook and search 548th Operations Support Squadron, it'll have our shield, and you'll have a lovely picture of Senior Master Sergeant Bina, Lieutenant Colonel Schiff, and Master Sergeant Andreas with Wally the Warhawk, and like it and follow it, because that's where we're going to put actually all these sessions at. The plan is to build a YouTube page to actually put the audio files on, and then put a link to the YouTube page on the Facebook page.
So will these audio files also be available if you don't YouTube, or will they be available just as an audio file on Facebook as well?
So it's not as easy to do on Facebook that way. Okay. You actually have to usually share a link to a website to be able to do so. So YouTube's generally the generic way to do it.
Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
So the goal of why we wanted to start these podcasts is because not everyone can attend our WARCRY sessions. And as much as we would like for everyone to be there, we understand that there's a mission. We understand that you have a family and that there are other things that you have to do. So we want to make sure that this information is available to you so you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth. You know, like airmen share stories. Sometimes those stories don't always come out 100% of what they started off as. But that's why we want to start these podcast sessions to make sure that every airman has the opportunity to learn this information. These aren't secrets that we're holding on to. We want to share this stuff with everyone.
So, well, if I have a commute, right? Some people live 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from here. Will they be able to listen to this to and from work?
Yes, that was one of the main ideas behind it when we looked into something like this.
Awesome. So, why? How did you come up with the name WARCRY?
It was actually an interesting brainstorming session, but Sergeant Mendez is the one who came up with it. And I don't know if any of you guys know Sergeant Mendez, but her passion behind what she says and her energy. So she was like, we need to get amped up, like our squadron, we need to be proud of this, but we need to have something that sticks out. Like, like what about WARCRY? Like, and then we have our War Hawk, we have Wally A. Rutherford. What are we going to have? So that's how we came up with WARCRY. And then Airman Rodriguez Reyes and Airman Soto came up with our logo. So thank you to them. And, this has just really been like a team effort, a big think tank coming up with these ideas.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming out, doing our inaugural introduction to the podcast and to our WARCRY. So we had a session yesterday, and then you're going to put that out with this one in the next week or so.
Both should be out by Tuesday.
Okay.
So I'm going to work with editing them tomorrow, and then we should have them out by Tuesday on our Facebook page.
Okay. So
typically, we like to have WARCRY sessions on the first 2 Wednesdays of the month, so we are able to reach both half of the weeks and maximize participation. We try to hold them around 13:30 on the Wednesdays that we do have them, so that way shift workers and like day workers and swings workers are able to attend. So stay tuned, check your email.
Check your Facebook.
Exactly, check your Facebook. Look out for our WARCRY sessions. We do try to be flexible. We try to work around missions and special events that we have coming up. So just plan on your calendars for the first and second Wednesday of every single month.
Awesome. Okay, any parting shots?
Join our Facebook page. We're going to post good information on that. That's where, it's a good way to get information about what's going on in the squadron, like our third Fridays and things like that. We want to post pictures, have like a little Where's Wally section. So spouses too. Spouses welcome. And also, if you are a 548 OSS spouse, please go join their spouses page. They have a lot of good information.
If there's no other parting shots, we'll close this down.
Oh, send us your topics. That was my parting shot. Send us
Sergeant Delvaux, Sergeant Pennington, Sergeant Mendez, or Sergeant Monk. You don't have to send it via email. You can just go talk to them. Mm-hmm. And we look forward to seeing you at the next WARCRY session.